unstoppable, now we coming to get it. The shook one's gone, we too Brooklyn strong. Can't stop, won't stop from the Brooklyn block.
There you go. There you go.
Big fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets. Wait, start over.
I'll edit it. I'll edit it.
Big fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. What's up here, Brooklyn Nets?
Right, that out of me.
Just give me the ball, I'm fitting the score next. My J is all net, me and David just all next. Getting back on defense, hit him with strong flex. I'm official like a ref, trying not to get attacked. And we go hard on Brooklyn, that's a promise. Watch me like a Cam, cause it's my time. Mission, watch me like a Cam, cause it's my time. Switch, they can't guard me, especially side the Barclays. Spin between crosses, I can score with both hands. Midi flawless, and I get to paint like an artist. I'm a boss smith, so you should respect my handle. I see the big picture with the Nets like a mantle. In the future, I see us as champs too. And when we do, I'ma do a Brooklyn dance move. The sturdy or Millie rock like a fan do. And that's a bet like my parlay on FanDuel. BROOKLYN. BROOKLYN.
Yo, that's the new intro, man. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to work on the intro, man.
It's getting better. It's getting there. It's getting there.
Shout out to the Nets fans. We the best fans. This is Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. Y'all already know that this is JTV.
By the way, yep. This is Jay, by the way.
Word. Yeah, man. Listen, I'm gonna call it how I see it, man. Jay, what you say? What you calling back-to-back Clax?
Back-to-back Clax, man.
Yo,
y'all
seen that?
Y'all seen them Clax out there?
He trying to keep his job, man. He trying to keep his
back
job,
threes with confidence. He said, "Oh, they not gonna guard me? They really think I can't hit this? Swish." The first one was a swish, but that second one hit every part of the inside of the rim before it went in. That shit was like, hold up, who shot me?
Yo. Again, my thing is, I think Clax is hearing the water
the rumblings.
Yeah, hearing them rumblings around the water cooler. Hearing that as soon as he come in the room, everybody's just scattered. Like, what's going on?
You know what happened?
They stretch ball. They want that stretch big, man.
He seen DerickQueen hit that game winner.
That's another part of the show. DerickQueen to the Nets.
He seen DerickQueen hit that game winner. And heard the story about the fact that he said, "Give me that motherfucking ball." You heard that? He told the coach. The coach was doing the interview after the game, and he was like, "Yo, I was trying to add. I went around the circle. I was like, yo, who won it? Who won it?" And Derrick just told me, "Give me that MF ball." And I said, "All right, well, it's going to you, buddy.
Give me that ball up here to score next.
Yeah,
Make DerickQueen of Brooklyn Nets, man." Make him a Brooklyn Nets, man. He got that kind of moxie. If he got that kind of in college, mind you, if he coming into the league like that, if his draft stock becomes higher because of the game winning, as Jay said, he land at 5. I'm not mad, bro.
But bro, ain't that what I've been saying since the beginning of the season? Once it gets to March, all of these names that we see in 1 through 3 may flip up. Niggas like, no, ain't nobody slipping out. Ace Bailey already seemed like he slipped to 4. DerickQueen done moved up mad spots to 5, it's looking like.
So hold on. If Ace Bailey slipped to 4, who the 3 you got in front of him?
I think they have VJ Edgecombe in front of him now.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
That's tough. I seen the
I'm just saying for them to tell me that, yo, the March Madness ain't gonna have nothing to do with how much, like what spot people go at, don't make no sense to me, because this is the most important time of the season. Right. So this is where stars are made.
Right, like if Cooper Fly, if Duke, if they Kamen Malawat, if all of those guys on Duke, all of that talent, all those lottery picks, if they got knocked out the first round, that is a disappointment, and it hits their draft.
Right. And if they have a bad game and get knocked out, that's definitely hurting their draft stock.
But that didn't happen. Cooper had a good game. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, I'm hearing more fans warm up to Cooper. I was talking to PSPN actually, and he was the one like, "Yo, Cooper, that's the guy he really want on the team." I
I
don't know,
told you,
man.
I told you the only reason why I gotta feel that way is because of like a lot of these players when they play, they look like they cool, like they try to be cool, they slapping fives and shit. Cooper is screaming at people, telling them you trash, I'm busting your ass, and that's what I want on the team, man.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
shout to my boy Cam Johnson, man. I saw him. He had they had an interview with him. He was
Hmm.
talking that shit again, and he always talked that shit. And even though I feel like Cam Thomas is the leader of this team, I
Yeah.
think this dude is like an elder statesman. Like he has a way with words. He knows how to analyze situations and break it down in ways that people could understand. And he mean what he say. He like, yo, all of these games that we losing by a couple of points, it takes a certain type of echelon to win and lose in the NBA, and we gotta turn those losing games into winning game. Like,
Mm.
and it comes with a certain type of experience and a certain type of attitude, and we gotta have that as a group. And what else he say? He he put it way more eloquent than I'm putting it,
Yeah,
man.
no, but I get the gist of that. But again, revisiting what we said about DerickQueen, for a long time, Nets fans, if you're a real Nets fan, you know we lose a lot of games in the fourth quarter. Seeing Queen hit that game-winning shot, bro, it just made me realize that's what the Nets need. Maybe I'm caught up in the hype. Maybe that's what it is because it just happened last night, and I'm just excited and whatever the case is. But truth is that Derek Queen, if he said that in the huddle, that's the kind of play I want on the team, man. Like seriously, bro, the coach went lie about something like that, bro.
Man, I'm not trying to get rid of Clax, man. I ain't even gonna lie tonight. Even though we got our ass bust in the minutes with Dayrod and Nick Claxton on the floor together, they
Mm,
look good, man.
mm,
They look like it was hard for them to get in the paint with Dayrod and Nick out there, but they were shooting threes. Like I said, this game ain't a good example,
mm.
but they was looking good out there together, and I want to see more of that, especially because if they on the floor together, we still got Claxton and Zaire. Clowney and Zaire that could come in. Like it's not like we lacking either way.
Yeah, shout to Quest One, shout to Cottage 81, shout to Nets Press, shout to Ice. Um,
Yo, Quest one. They say they comparing Flag to Kawhi now. I know you put Bird Jr., but
Prime
I see
Kawhi,
people comparing them to Kawhi now.
bro. Again, my thing is Prime Kawhi. He playing 1 year in college. Prime is probably 2-3 years. I just think I got nothing negative to say about Cooper Flag, but I remember Prime Kawhi, and that's you're not doing that just in one college season, right?
Well, what I'm saying is, I feel like all all of the comparisons they not gonna be spot on because he's not that guy. He's himself. Know what I mean? But if you telling me that, oh yeah, I got this player and he reminds me of Larry Bird, he reminds me of Kawhi, he
Mhm.
reminds me of like I like that guy. Like
But
those is good
so
names to get compared to.
right. So my thing is being able to. All right. When we talk about playmakers, more times than not, we talking about offensive playmakers. But when you mention Kawhi, when you mention Cooper Flag in the same, you know what I'm saying, ballpark with him, then you're talking about defensive playmakers. Like
Yeah,
they can win you the game with their defense. You can put that player on their toughest offensive player, and he could either slow them down or if they score the points that they average, it would be at a low efficiency.
Cooper
If
Flag.
if if that's the kind of player that y'all talking about, then I see Brooklyn Nets being the best market for him. You know what I'm saying? We got to do fair.
Gritty, man. He gonna come out there and
Yeah,
play gritty, and he don't want to go to Charlotte or none of them teams. And wait, where the hell is Duke at? Why he don't want to go to Charlotte? Ain't Duke in North Carolina?
that's the yeah. I was
Why wouldn't he
imagining he
want to go to
wanted.
Charlotte?
I can't answer that because I thought it was a good idea for him to go to Charlotte. I mean, outside of the, I mean, if he's saying he liked Duke, and you right up the block from Duke
Right?
because you know what I'm saying, you right there in Charlotte, then it just makes sense that he would want to go to Charlotte because of the relationship between Duke
Yeah,
and Charlotte.
I would think
But
that, but I feel
that's
like
not the case.
Charlotte, Utah, and Washington is the teams that he afraid of. I think, and he think that one of those teams is going to have the number one pick and a chance to draft him. So that's why he threw out that I might go back to school just to let people know, man. Like,
Mhm.
don't draft me.
Yeah. No, but there's been rumblings about that, as you would say, of how there's been players, been approached and asked where they want to play. You know what I'm saying? That has happened. Actually, I heard that happened with Shaq, but allegedly, I don't know how true that is, even though he the one who said it. But the truth is that I think. Hold on. Orange Spiegel says Flag wants Brooklyn. So let's just
Yeah, didn't he have us in his background pick for a minute? Because I remember they visited the practice facility and they
no
was in
some
there taking
yeah.
mad pictures.
Somebody said we'll see. You know what I'm saying? I think he said we'll see. Somebody asked him, Flags, you coming to Brooklyn? He said we'll see. And that's what I'm trying to say. I think we the more
See, but look, peep the little shit. Like
yeah.
when you see that the number one pick, like who might have the number one pick, and it's not Brooklyn, he's
Mhm,
saying I might go back to school. But when
mhm,
somebody asks him, "You coming to Brooklyn?" He's
mhm.
saying, "We'll see."
Yeah.
You
Like
see what I'm
think about
saying? Like,
yeah, but like think about it. Think about it. Like, and what I'm saying is, I'm glad we having this conversation. I'm gonna throw the link in the chat. But I want to have this conversation with you. My
all right,
thing is this. Um, which one of these players really care about giving the NBA? I mean, a franchise their first NBA championship. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want to go to the Washington, like if you pick teams that you don't want to go to, you got reasons on why you don't want to go to that team. But
mhm.
if you do want to come to the Brooklyn Nets, I want one of the reasons that they want to come here and play here is to actually get this franchise their first NBA championship.
Right.
Like I want them to want that. You feel what
And
I'm
I want
saying? Want for
somebody
themselves,
that is
not just for
worthy
the
of
fans.
wearing all black. I want somebody that's coming in with black Air Force energy, man. We in all black. We playing tough. It ain't none of that soft. We not slapping fives with the other team to the end of the game. Like,
Hmm. And that's what I'm saying. I think you get that from Cam Thomas. You might get that from Noah Clowney. You know what I'm saying? You get that Tyrese Martin look like, you know what I mean? Like he don't do that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Word.
nah, he could learn. He could learn. I like Tyrese, man. I like this scrappy team, and I know people hate these guys and think that they ass, but I think
Oh,
all of the players on this team got potential except for the Ghostbuster. Because Max Lewis, I
mhm.
think Max Lewis might be a star, man.
Yeah,
Max
I
Lewis,
see. Yeah, no,
yeah.
I was gonna say one of my favorite plays was with Max Lewis because I think it was a Dallas Maverick play. He was at the 3-point line. He threw some lazy ass alley oop, and it was just like they was just trying to play with us. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
just having a good old time and shit. And then we got serious in that, and we ran on a run. And Max Lewis was part of that. You know what I'm saying? Going to the paint. And on that note,
He could go to the paint. He could hit the three ball. He play
yeah,
good defense. He's fast, and
mm-hmm,
he makes adjustments with his speed. Like he could speed up, slow down, then hit the midi. Like boy, might be nice. I don't
yeah,
know. He's out there doing some moves. I'm not seeing him do too many wrong things. He got
nah.
cooked a couple times today on defense, but they was good shots. But
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. And another stat that stood out for me that I always talk about is under the arc. That's how they explained it watching the game. They said under the arc, and I say that I say under the 3-point line, but under the 3-point line and under the arc is the same thing. Feel what I'm
mhm.
saying? So they was talking about how that's how we came back in the game. I'm watching the game. The first two shots of the game was 3-pointers. The first time we got on the ball was with a 2-pointer. That's the only thing that I don't like about Joey Fernandez coaching. It'll take 2 threes. It take 2 threes for him to get to a two. You know what I mean? It's way too comfortable shooting the three ball. But tonight we were 11 for 33. I'm not totally mad at that. that's just kind of like it is what it is. We could have shot better for sure, but who's missing? Cam Johnson, 1 for 7. That's not. Come on, man. If you're gonna be a leader, you gotta definitely play better than that. Even if you got the mindset, you feel what I'm saying, to lead a team. Remember, what's his name,
No,
Jared?
but he can have the mindset, but he don't got the skill. That's why Cam Thomas is still the leader of the team. Because if Cam Johnson was better than Cam Thomas, he would officially be the leader. But
Mm-hmm.
he's not. It's because he just got leadership qualities, and he's older and more of a veteran player, and he's good too. But Cam Thomas is obviously just a better basketball player than him, and got
Mm-hmm.
more potential to be an even better basketball player than he is currently.
Nah, facts. All right, so before we throw the link in the chat, Jay, just tell me how serious is DerickQueen coming to the Brooklyn Nets, in your opinion?
Man, all this shit is a fucking shot in the barrel to me. I don't know. The only one, like I like Derek Queen from the highlights that I seen, and the fact that they comparing him to Joker. That's Joker is one of my favorite players in the NBA right now because I
Mm-hmm.
like the way he play. He don't let nobody speed him up. He just
Mm-hmm.
plays smart, high IQ basketball, and he don't even waste energy on the floor for real. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything is thoughtful with the way he plays basketball, and I like that. So if my guy could do that, and he's black, that's my guy, and
Yeah,
young,
yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
And again, to be honest with you, the compliment calling him Baby Joker is very interesting in my opinion because I didn't think that we would have a quote unquote player like Joker come around for a long time. The kind of stuff that the Joker is doing right now is incredible. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I never thought that we would quote unquote have a Jokic kind of player this soon. It's kind of like the Mike Jordan Kobe thing. And when they say he baby Jokic, that's what they used to say about Kobe until he wanted his own nickname, and that's part of the reason why he got the name Black Mamba. But
I feel
that's
like
hell of a compliment, man. That's
it is a hell of a compliment, but I feel like as the game evolves, players start to study the game of the people that come before them, and when
mhm.
you got somebody doing the shit that uh or Westbrook was doing. You got niggas doing the shit Harden is doing that Shea is doing. Players gonna study their game and patent themselves to do the same thing or similar
Look,
thing.
look, Angel Reese, she said Derek is literally baby Jokic. OMG. Like it's I thought it was just us and we gassing him up because it was a pick that we might get. Come to find out, everybody is calling this guy baby Jokic.
Yeah,
Like
man. But
shit, bro.
I like the kid, but I'm still focused. I think we're getting the number one pick, honestly. So
Okay, but why you say that? Just because you're a Net fan? Why you just you being a Net
nah,
fan?
just because we ain't have the number one pick in a long, long time. Longer
Mhm.
than any of the teams that's uh close to getting the number one pick. We haven't had the number one pick longer than that. And then besides that, I think we are the most respectful tankers out here and we need to be rewarded. And lastly,
Thanks.
the point that was driven home to me the other day, I think Leaf said it, but it just made a lot of sense. It would be like, if you're $1 billion business, I think it's irresponsible for you to let lottery balls dictate where your premier talent is going. So that means it would probably be guided in some way. And if you guide it, you would probably want to guide it to a huge market,
Right, right. Like the Brooklyn Nets.
right?
That's all I was saying. And he
So
like,
I don't know that
shout out
for
to
those
Lady.
three reasons. That's why I think we might really fuck around and get the number one pick. And everybody keeps saying three, but I just don't know if we'll get three 2 years in a row. But you did show me a time where it happened, where we
Mm-hmm.
did get three 2 years in a row. But I just don't think we get the number three 2 years in a row.
It's fair to say that. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what the roster going to look like. We don't know if Jordy Fernandez and Sean Marks going to be on the same page and say, yo, we're going to tank or quote unquote focus on the draft, 2026 draft. It's hard to say
See, man, if
what's going to
Dayron,
happen. But I
if
will say that for what it's worth, we do seem like we're on the same page right now. It
if
do seem like
Dayron
they
and Clax start hitting that
focus
three
on.
more efficiently, man, it's gonna be harder to get rid of them dudes, man.
Man, who you get rid of? Who? Clax?
That's what people keep saying. Get rid of Clax, get rid of Dayron, one of them or the other one, because we're gonna have to pick up DerickQueen or Cotman Malute or somebody. But what I'm saying is, if both of them start hitting the three a little bit more consistently, I don't know, man. Those is my guys anyway. I don't want them to go either way, but that's crazy.
Yeah, I see we got Dylan on the panel, Ice on the panel. Shout out to both of those guys. Yeah, I'm about to pass it to Dylan and Ice J, but
Yeah,
I just wanted to preference it by letting y'all know I had seen some content and he was explaining it wasn't for this season though, but he was explaining the draft and how it goes, and I just figured we could recap that. But before we get to all of that, I want to introduce Dylan to the show. Heavy on IG, you know what I'm saying? You can find him on Twitter as well. I want to say shout out to Ice. You know what I mean? Heavy on Twitter, yeah, heavy on TikTok too, right about now. You know what I'm saying? Can't lie to you. But yeah, we're gonna pass it to Dylan. Talk to us, man. Shout your podcast out before you start, and then we're gonna get to it.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother. If you want, feel free to subscribe to us at the BK Nothing But Nets podcast. That's a joint show between me and Gary. And if you want to follow my podcast, it's the Nets Press podcast on YouTube as well. And like he said, you can follow me on Instagram at Nets Press. But yeah, I mean, I've been listening in on some of the topics you guys have been talking about. To me, like I've said before, I'm not confident in getting the number one pick, though I would love to be. The only
hold on, wait.
Yeah.
Time out, Dylan. Not to cut you off, but to add to what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
you're not confident in getting the number one pick, but you don't think we're doing some of the most respectful tanking around and seeing all of these other organizations that's tanking getting investigated?
Listen, I'll believe it when I see it. I've come to learn, at least in my life, when I am overly optimistic about something, it shits the bed.
I feel you. But I'm just saying those two things, though. All these teams getting investigated. Guess who's not?
The only thing the only stat that actually gives me any form of confidence is that the Nets are the longest tenured team to not draft at number one with their own pick. That is the only thing that I have confidence in, but that doesn't mean that our pick hasn't gone number one before. It went number one the year that the Celtics got Tatum because they traded back to 3, and the year before that they got the 3rd overall pick because of us. So we haven't not gotten the number one pick. It's just we haven't owned it. Yeah. So that's the only stat in my eyes that even gives me a 1-2% confidence boost. But outside of that, I'm not going to get my hopes up, man. They didn't take it seriously this year, so we'll see what happens. The reward's going to be what they earned.
I think they took it serious, man. They respectfully doing it, man.
Yeah, I mean,
like not just looking like we going to lay down.
We'll see. I mean, listen, if Philly's ahead of us, I'm going to laugh because that's just icing on the cake for not taking it as serious as they should have. But no, I mean, I heard you guys talking about DerickQueen as well. I personally don't see the Jokic comparison. I see more of a DeMarcus Cousins or an Alperen Sengun.
But Sengun gets a lot of Jokic comparison.
Yeah, no, he does. I mean, he's definitely never going to be anywhere close to what Jokic is. I think we're kind of seeing Sengun peak. He's kind of solidified himself as not a true number one option. Jokic is a true number one option.
Dylan, but you gotta bring context to that. A guy like Jokic, he played pro ball before he came to the NBA. Mm-hmm. Not like he was just some rookie or freshman in college and then he came to the NBA. So, I don't think people know that part of it. I think he played 2 years pro in the Euro.
Yeah, I believe it was 2 or 3
before he came to the NBA. So I just think if he's in between DeMarcus Cousins, Jokic, and whoever y'all just said. I just forgot who y'all just said, but
Sengun.
Sangoon, bro, that's good company. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I ain't tripping. But go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Shout out to Leaf Diggy, a moderator on this page. He sent a $5 super chat with his handle. We out here, Leaf. Let me throw a link in the chat. Go ahead, Dylan.
yeah, no, I mean, listen, I've kind of just come to terms with knowing that we're more likely to land through that 5 through 8 slot, which to me, it could be a slight blessing in disguise. To me, if you don't land in the top 2, you're actually in a better position drafting at 5 through 7, only because I think the fits are much better. The hype for me in Ace has kind of fallen a bit, unfortunately. I think that the risk on taking him is significant. He's probably the biggest boomer bust prospect in this year's draft. Meaning, I think he's either going to be a superstar or he's going to fall on his face. I don't know if there's really an in between for him. But to me, if you miss out on Harper and Flag, I more so am leaning in the direction of Jeremiah Fears, DerickQueen, and Kaman Malawak. So we'll see what ends up happening. I think just the most important thing is trading further up into the first.
How tall is Fears?
6'4".
Okay.
I know Breezy doesn't like to hear it, but whoever gets drafted with our pick in the top 10 is going to be the focal point moving forward. It's not Cam Thomas.
I just don't want him to get traded. Even if he's not the number one guy. Again, Ice been making rumblings about Fizz too. You know what I mean? I've been hearing about Fizz this whole draft. First it was the first top 3, then it was Fizz. So
it really depends on the pick. Like if they get Dylan Harper, I can 100% see Thomas being a fit long term. But if they're put into a position where they have to draft a Trey Johnson or a VJ Edgecombe or an Ace Bailey, then I really don't see the fit for him long term, just because all 3 of those guys are very similar players to Thomas, right? Ace is 6'10", and can score at a high level, but he's got some deficiencies in some of the other portions of his game. Trey Johnson is just a 6'6" Cam Thomas with slightly better defense and playmaking. VJ, an undersized 2-guard similar to Cam Thomas, but more athletic and a better defender. So to me, there's certain picks that, if they take him, Cam Thomas's future is definitely going to be in the air, but we'll see. I mean, I definitely don't think Thomas is traded this offseason or throughout next season. I think they re-sign him and use him as a like I've said before, as a D'Angelo Russell type guy. D'Lo was here during a rebuild,
but I think you know what else?
For a superstar.
What I will say to that is, before all of that, they actually got to see Cam Thomas next to whoever we draft.
I agree. That's why
that's when it's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, no,
that's my problem.
You gotta see them play together before anything can happen. You gotta see them play together.
And Cam Thomas still gonna come back scoring 25, 28 points a game, and that the rookie is gonna be doing rookie shit. Like, I don't think y'all think these rookies about to average 28 a game.
Cam Thomas play like 60 games at least, or at least 70 games.
Bro, they are making him sit these games out. Respectfully, he would be playing this year, bro.
No, you got to be healthy though, Jay. Like this is the second time he went out with a hamstring injury.
Bro,
I don't believe it, bro. Man. Like if you believe it, you believe it. I hear you, but I don't believe it.
I don't think he's just saying. I think I don't think they would have gave him back. I don't think he would have came back. He would have just set out the whole season.
LM, shout to LM and Leaf.
You gotta make it look respectful, bro. Like y'all just want to all out do shit. You gotta make it look like we trying. It's a reoccurring injury. Damn, he can't never get to 100%. Like you gotta make it look respectful.
If you was watching him on the floor though, like he doesn't look like the old version of him though. Like I don't think it may be a point to what you're saying, but I think he really is injured. His movement don't even look the same.
Listen, and on top of that, you gotta know that the coach gonna cut their minutes and put him on minutes reserve. They did the same thing with AD tonight. This was his first game back. They had him on minute restriction. But again, I don't want to be long with it. I want to go around the panel. I want Dylan to finish up and then pass it to Ice when you're done.
Of course. My final thing is thankfully Toronto won today. That kind of gives us a little bit of a cushion now between the 6th and 7th pick. We play Toronto next. It's a must-lose game. Knowing the Nets, they'll fuck this up because they do it every single time they have to actually lose a game. We've seen it now twice when it's been in competition with Philly for the 5th pick. They've won on both of those nights. In a game that you need to lose, they tend not to. So hopefully they do, because we got Toronto and Washington in the next
we
week.
on an 11-game losing streak, bro. Like, you don't think we good?
Let him finish, because we got to get the ice. We got to go right up in 11.
I think we're only on we're on a 4-game losing streak.
You sure?
Yeah, we won one within that span, but yeah,
we lost. We won 2 out of 13.
Well,
Yeah.
we've been losing a lot, man.
The problem is that those 2 wins.
It's a blur, right?
The problem is that those 2 wins were on nights that we could have solidified the 5th overall odds. Instead, we won them. So that's my problem with it. Just fucking lose the games that you need to lose. It's that simple. You want to win the last game of the season against the Knicks for egotistical reasons? Feel fucking free. But solidify your place. Solidify your place in this lottery. You know, like, just solidify your place as either the 5th or the 6th pick. We've solidified right now at 6. But don't fuck it up and beat the
No, stop saying that. You are spending full propaganda.
Right.
You gotta say the 5th or 6th odds, not the 5th or 6th pick.
Right. Let's see if Ice agree. Let's see what Ice, because again, Ice, his perspective is a little different because he sees the optimism.
Where Drew Tim at, man? I need Drew Timmy, man. Talk about Drew Timmy, bro. He dropped 50, bro.
I was looking for you the other day, Jay.
Drew Timmy, man.
Hey, yo.
Drew Timmy.
50 and 9 rebounds. You know what I'm saying?
81% from the field. That's tough.
Bring Drew Timmy up, man. We need Timmy out there right now.
Nah, we need people who aren't going to impact the game.
Yo, Ice, shout your podcast out first, Ice.
Oh, y'all know
hold on. You was finished, Dylan?
Yeah. Pass it off to Ice. Appreciate it, bro.
All right, yeah, go ahead, Dylan. I mean, Ice. Shout your podcast out before you start.
Y'all know where to find me, Iceman the Dawn on Twitter. You can follow the podcast, the Tip Off of Brooklyn Nets podcast on YouTube. You heard? You know what I mean? What we talking about?
Shit, I mean, first Queen. What you think about him in that clutch winning? And to add context to it, you know the Nets lose a lot of games in the 4th quarter, right? Not tonight. We got an ass kick. But we lose a lot of games in the 4th quarter. So what do you think about seeing a Queen hit a clutch play like that? Him telling his coach, give me the mother effing ball. Like, that kind of moxie. Is he, I mean, am I hyping it too much? Are you mad if we draft a Queen? How do you feel? Is he a franchise changer? Can he help the Nets win their first NBA championship?
Look, yo, that's a lot to go into that. But I was watching that game, right? I was watching the game. Another wing player, Nick Clifford. He wasn't shooting well from 3, but he made the key pass to send them up 2. He kicked it out to the wing. Dude hit a 3 to put them up against Maryland. And then I was like, oh, the game about to be over. You know what I'm saying? Queen about to go home. Mm-hmm. And then I seen him hit that shot, bro, from the 3-point line, drive, left hand, bump, fade off the glass. Dog, that was tough. It was tough. You know what I mean? I was in the house like, I know he didn't just hit that. You know what I'm saying? I know he didn't just do that. But I wouldn't be mad if they draft him. I would not be mad if they draft Queen. There's still questions on position what he played, but I think Dylan is thinking about the overall of Joker. It's the style of play. I keep saying when people compare players, it's the style. It's not necessarily like this is what he's gonna be. It's the style. Take the ball.
I get it.
Like Jay say, you can't speed him up. You can't rush him to do anything. He gets to wherever he wants to get to whenever he feels like it. Majority of the time, he makes the right play. He makes the right pass. He can rebound. Ain't too much of a shot blocker. You know what I mean? And he got
let's slow it down, right? When you say when we say a little Jokic type player, when in my mind I'm thinking a half court player. You're not necessarily going to get a player like Jokic dominating fast breaks. That's not what he does.
I feel like
in a half court set,
he better be throwing them outlet passes.
Getting busy.
I better be seeing outlet passes.
Yeah. So Yeah, that's where he at. Half court, top of the key, or free throw line. Give me the ball. You know what I mean?
So
I operate right here.
let me ask you this: who you think from what you see in college thus far, who run the best X's and O's? Like, you know what I mean? They know how to run a half court set. Basically, my question to
You mean players?
you. Yeah, like that high in the draft in the top 10. I know you've been watching the college games, so you know like who's running these half court sets? Because you know a lot of college basketball is the fast break, the getting down the court before the other team, getting them out of position.
Yeah.
And I get that. But who can run a half court set? Who plays with their back to the basket? You know what I'm saying? You got the chat talking about player one said Queen give him Chris Webber vibes. You know what I mean? So
in the
I
top.
don't know what Oren talk about. Like, hold on, man. Take it easy. The chat is wilding right now. Let's go back to ice. What did you say?
Yo. Nah, you said
saying?
run the half court set. Like, it depends because Fairs runs a half court set pretty well, but he's a point guard, right? Queen runs a half court set pretty well. Dylan Harper runs it pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say Coop in a team setting, Coop runs the half court set pretty well. You know what I mean? I say Trey Johnson too. Trey Johnson does. I say those four that I could think of right now off the top of my head, or five. Those are the guys that run half court pretty well. You know what I'm saying? As far as I've seen so far.
But just overall tonight, what you thought about tonight's game and just the trajectory of these last 10 games in the season? You think is this a tank? Because it's not a Lamborghini, it's not a Civic, it's not a Chevrolet.
It's a real deal tank. You know what I mean? I don't. They might win another game, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But
oh man, that sounds terrible.
Nah, you gotta listen. You gotta listen though.
You heard the way he said it, like he was confident, and that was for real. Like they might win another game, maybe.
You gotta hear me out though. You gotta hear me out.
No, I feel you. But that shit just hurt my heart, bro. When you said it.
It's okay, man. It's a safe space, AJ.
You're right. Yo, we ain't running no point guard, right? And Tyrese Martin ain't gonna give you, you know what I mean? He ain't gonna drop real dimes out there all the time. He gonna give you like 4 dimes within the game or 3 dimes or something
just
like that.
Just give the ball to Maxwell Lewis every play, man. Let him he'll do it himself, man.
So, you know what I mean? Like you ain't got no point guard, and with the players that we got, you need a point guard. So if D'Lo's sitting out, it just looked different. You know what I mean? It looked slow. You know what I mean? The scoring is a little bit down. You know what I mean? So Clax went off tonight. You know what I'm saying? Was surprising. Clax went off, but what I'm saying is when you don't have a point guard, it changes the whole game. You know what I mean? Period.
So what you think about Clax? Are you buying it? Do you think he could become a stretch big? Well, how you feel about that, man?
I said fans was going to talk about that tonight. Clax hitting them 2 threes look different.
Back to back.
Yeah, it looked different.
Confident.
I was like, yo, he just hit them 3s. I know they're finna talk about it tonight. You know what I mean? But I don't think he's gonna do that for us.
Yeah.
If they mention a center in the draft that they're interested, not saying they're gonna get one, but if they're interested, that means like Jay was saying, somebody might be on the chopping block. You know what I mean? I don't like jobs being taken and shifting somewhere else. But if they looking, you know what I mean? Somebody gotta go if we get a center.
I don't believe somebody has to go. I don't think they have to, but it might have to.
I don't want to have 2 centers. I'll say that. I want to have 3 centers.
Right.
Facts.
Right. See, Breeze talking that shit.
Right.
Why, Breeze? Why you need to have 3 centers instead of 2?
For the depth chart, Jody Fernandez run a 10-man rotation, and I mean if we've seen Clax, you know what I mean, not necessarily be healthy the whole season. We've seen Sharp go out for some X amount of games. It'll be nice, and for what it's worth, they never really hurt at the same time. But you want that 2 center rotation. You don't want to just have 1 center, and you don't want to see, God forbid, the basketball guards have Cam Johnson at the 4. Like, just stop that altogether, please.
Right.
No more of that.
And on top of that, I feel like You need to be able to play shit situationally. Like if you're playing against a certain center, you might want to play this center more. If you're playing against a different center that had different attributes, you might want to play this center more. You want to have options. Like
Right. I agree. And I mean, that's what I say. When one of them go down, you got Clowney and you got Tucson and Warmer from the G League at the 5. Yo, we can't do that. You know what I mean? Like,
with Tucson back in the G League, where he at?
yeah, he in the G League.
Oh.
He can't play. He has limited games left to play. I think he got like one game left, so he's going to stay in the G League. So he doesn't have. They don't have to put him on a 10-day contract or something like. Or you can only play a certain amount of games during the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like 56 games or something like that. Yeah.
The way my boy Tucson be balling, I'm surprised he ain't putting up 50 in the G League.
Hey, he put up 20 the other night, along with Timmy's 50. He put up 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man, they gotta stay focused. I told y'all, I thought it was funny, man. That money different. That G League money and that NBA money different.
Yeah, I heard they get paid $40,000 for the G League.
Yeah, he coming. I'm here so I won't get fined. When they get to that NBA, they
40,000 is crazy.
Real quick, because
that's a big difference. Reaching 40,000 to 2 million, like
yeah, 40,000 is crazy, bro.
Yeah, I just shouted out in Warmer, but Killian Hayes too. I mentioned on my podcast, Killian Hayes didn't want to sit out. They wasn't going to resign him. He said he wanted to come back to the G League to play with the fellas. He dropped 18, 7, and 6 the last game with Timmy and them. You know what I'm saying? So he down there hooping too.
But Killian probably got a little money that he living off of from his last contract or so.
Yeah, something. But he hooping. He might be back in the summer league. Y'all ain't hearing from me, but he might be back in the summer. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be mad at that. I like one shot kill. That's my guy.
One shot kill.
Yo, just pass it to Ellen when you done.
All right, Ellen, you good?
What's good, y'all?
Good, bro.
I know you watching these games, man. I didn't hear much about VJ Edgecombe. Did you watch him play? And I didn't.
I watched him versus Duke. I think it's still a lot of things. Duke went crazy, man. It was like, yeah, we the number 1 team for a reason.
Right.
You know, Tyrese Proctor went off. Like he was looking like 2016 Stephen Curry.
That's the kid that was hitting those threes, right?
Yeah. The funny thing about Proctor is he's not even a lottery pick. And
that's what I was about to ask you.
Because he's 20 years old.
Back of the draft.
Yeah, so he's probably going to be late round if he does go into the draft. But that goes to show, look at the talent level that Cooper is playing with, where a guy can just go off like that. Like, you got mostly their whole roster is full of 5-star recruits. So it's going to be tough to beat a team of that caliber. But with VJ, I don't know. I think I like VJ, but you can still see there's a couple of things that he got to work on. Shot wise, tightening the handle. You know, it's a lot of things that he's going to need work with, but you can't see the upside in the defense. As a short guard, he does have a defensive potential of being probably a 2-way, but if he can get the shot down and the handle down, he can definitely be a problem. I think it depends on which situation he goes to. But yeah, the games has been interesting. Kentucky, my team got Illinois out of there, so I was hype about that. Kasparis is out of there now, so I don't know where he's gonna fall. I don't know if Kasparis is top 5 at this point anymore, like some people was projecting. So he might fall to 10 or 11 or whatever the case.
So who you got at 5? Damn, 10 or 11? God damn. Who you got at 5? Who your top 5, Ellen?
My top probably
Ace Bailey at 5.
Dylan. I mean, I'll just Cooper, Dylan, Ace. 4 for me is a 3-way race. I don't think it's a select. I think four you can put Fears. I think four you can get Trey Johnson, and then I think four you can get VJ Edgecombe. I think those four is probably somebody you would. Those three you will look at. Um, I don't think it's a definitive four though, and I think five you probably will get.
Wait,
I think five is Queen.
wait,
I
how you
think
skip all them other niggas you just named though? You said four
no,
could be
cause
three
I
niggas,
say
this and
no. I
five.
said
So now
yeah.
you at
Four can
eight.
be a three. No, I'm talking about in terms of who you would choose at for.
But
Like
then if
if
you
you talking
wait, time
if you
out.
talking about a
And I'm just asking for clarity, bro. If you saying you would pick that guy at four, three of those dudes. So if you got the fifth pick, you wouldn't pick one of the ones that at four, like that you
no,
didn't
I'm
that they
saying
didn't pick at four. That would be a steal at because he didn't get picked.
if we're at four and we're those are the three I'm looking at.
Yeah,
So if Trey Johnson and VJ and Fears are on the board, I'm looking at those three. Now Fears might go five depending on who we get, and then you got VJ Edgecombe who might go six and Queen that might go seven.
yeah, that's what
But
I'm saying.
F right, so I would be at eight. But for four, those three are who I'm looking at. It's not a definitive. Yo, I'm taking him at four and then I'm out. Like it is a
Okay,
three-way race for those three.
but if you had five and one of them was off the board and two of them was still left, you would pick one of them still, or you
Yeah,
would pick
I'll
Queen.
I'll probably if because I think he'll go four. I think Fears will really go four. I think he's made a case. If he go four or five, I'll probably go Trey Johnson.
Okay,
And then six probably will be Queen, who depending on the player, and then seven will probably be. I don't know. Like a lot of, I think VJ to me is the outlier because a lot of people have him at four, a lot of people got him at five, a lot of people got him at six. Me
but you know
personally,
what?
I have him at seven, but
You know what I think it is? A lot of the teams is gonna draft for they situation and not for the best player. So
you think
even
so?
I feel like I feel like it's always like that. Like some teams is drafting what they need. So when they get to their pick, they gonna try to look for what they need, but it might not be the best player to everybody. I feel like the first few picks is gonna be best player, but I think after that, just like you said, it's three people that you feel like could be four, right?
Hmm.
The people that's drafting is going to try to figure out between those three which one is fitting their situation best.
That's true. For us, it definitely will have to be yo, just get the best player. I think depending on certain situations, to your point, like a Utah or whoever or New Orleans or whatever, they'll probably be like, yo, we already got Trey Murphy there. We are probably, we got to go somewhere else. So that could be a situation where that happens. But
And that's how
realistically, I'm
somebody
not.
end up picking up a steal because somebody else passed over somebody.
I know a lot of people in Dylan and stuff. I don't think we're out of that top three race. Realistically, I think that we can probably still end up with the top three odds. But I do think that realistically, you will have to. That's just which is why If we get to the top three, the choice is easy. Like it's not necessarily yo, we gotta think about who we can get at four or five. It's not really a guessing game. At three, you already know you get who you get and you're out of there.
I
So
don't
it's
think it's
like
that easy no more, bro.
you think I two who you get
Only because
if
of
we get
Ace
two, I think
Bailey.
that's Dylan.
Ace
And you
Bailey
out of there.
has become an outlier because they didn't make the tournament. He did. I don't think he impressed people enough. It seemed like his stock is falling down amongst basketball people, and these other players that's still playing right now is going to keep making a case on why they should be higher up.
I mean, when you talk about the only people that's really in the tournament is if you're talking one through five is or one through six is Cooper and Queen. Everybody else is eliminated.
Man,
Trey
what about if
Johnson.
Common Maluk just start going crazy the next couple games? Like
He's
crazy though.
somebody that I know someone I think Dylan said it, he would take him on. But to me, he's somewhat of a project too. Like you really don't know what he is yet. And I
Yeah, no,
think that's
I just
because
I
he
just brought
he
up him as an example, but.
Yeah, he
Anderson.
he plays with Cooper, which I think is a good thing, but at the same time is also a bad thing because you don't really know what he is. A lot of people compared him to Embiid. A lot of people said he could be, a good catch and shoot guy or a spacer. Like we don't necessarily know, which is why he would, if we picked him, he would really be like a raw project. Like he would be
Hmm.
somebody that we wouldn't. You'll have to really put him out on the floor and be like, "Yo, show us what you know." Show us what He will have to be unleashed realistically because you don't know what he is.
I
So
watched I watched the highlights to that game, the last game, and when I was watching dude hit all them threes, I was wondering why I keep hearing about Khan Knuppel and other dudes, and I never heard of this Proctor kid. But you saying because he older?
yeah, he's in the 20 range. The NBA just has this fetish where if you're not 18 or 17, like you're not going that high in the draft. Like I don't know what it is. Most of the 20-year-olds, like I think if you got a guy at 20 years old like Proctor, he fits. I think he's been getting comparisons to like a Derek White because he can
Scottie
shoot the
Pippen
three
Jr.
and he's right and he's really good on defense. Like he's good at reading the pick and roll situations. Like he's dope. So
He a
if you can
flamethrower.
get a Proctor, I'm not mad at it for us. Like he would be excellent for this team. But yeah, Queen has been playing out
Get
his
him where
mind.
though? Where would we get him?
It's tough. Maybe around, maybe with our next pick or whatever the case may be, if you can try to get him there. I don't think he's gonna be lottery though. I don't think he's gonna be 1 through 15, unfortunately. So if you could probably get him around 22 or 24 or 25, I feel like you probably good. Especially since that Milwaukee pick look like it's looking to be, you know, up there. So. You can probably take a risk. Probably go with him, but I know some people would probably I don't know. I think Boogie Flange was a name that people was talking about too, but I don't know where Boogie's stock is right now.
at the
Probably like
bottom,
Um,
24
first
through
round.
28.
yeah, it looked like he dropped. So,
And the only reason he
um,
dropped is because of the injury. Like realistically, he got as high as like probably 13 through 17 in some mock drafts. But
yeah,
the injury and the amount of risers that there are in this draft class, it's kind of tough to catapult him back up. I mean, if he goes off in the Sweet 16 against what do they play? Is it Florida? No, right? It's
mhm,
no, they play Texas Tech. If they play Texas Tech
right.
and he goes off, I mean, you could
Hold on,
definitely
hold
see him
on,
jumping Nolan Traore and
Who's on
potentially
Texas Tech?
Texas Tech is JT Toppin.
Yeah,
Okay.
JT Choplin.
hold on, y'all. We gotta give credit to the other side. I was tuning in. As soon as I tuned on the live stream, he said, "I can't wait till tonight. I don't want to hear that something about draft picks. He ain't hear no draft pick talk. He was talking about trades. Kai Jones was
Right, he
one.
Kai Jones. I knew he was going to talk about Kai Jones. I was waiting for the Kai Jones
You're
part of the
right.
show.
So I wanted because everybody for the most part was talking
Wait,
about.
hold on. Wait, I got a Spencer Dinwiddie part of the show too. So,
Okay,
word.
okay, we're gonna get to it for sure. Let Ellen finish, then we're gonna go to
Yeah,
league.
yeah.
But I do want to hear
Um,
this mistake. But
yeah, but other than that, I don't think we're out of the top three race. To me, I just think that realistically, we will have to see. May 12th is almost pretty much dang near here. We're about to go into April, pretty next week. So
it's close.
close. It's getting closer. It is getting closer. So
Word.
but I don't think that we're out of the top three race. It will be a miracle, but um, as long as our odds, I think, are fifth, I think we good, bro. I think we definitely good. I think we at least in the top five by the time in the I think we at least get top five. But I'm begging for one, two, or three. But
Okay.
I still think we did. Wherever prospect we
Some
get,
options.
we're gonna have to, pour into that prospect. But I think this overall, yeah, these players are showing up. These college guys are showing up. It's March Madness. They balling out. Shout out to Queen with that game winner. That was crazy. I saw that live. I was like, yeah, he one of them ones. And what surprises me about Queen, I think he's more. People was questioning his ability to put the ball on the floor, and I think he's showing that he has more to his game than we think he does. A lot of people thought he was just like a back to the basket, like a Sengun or whatever, but I think he has a real good ability to not only be a spacer, but a guy that can, if he work on it, could probably be a self creation type guy and get to his spots. So if he gets that down, he might, depending on the team he go to and the system, he might be a steal. He could end up being one of the best players in this draft class,
We'll
besides
see. We'll see.
Cooper and Cooper probably for most people. But yeah, Leaf can go.
That's
The
yo, Leaf.
incomparable Leaf Diggy,
Hey yo,
Leaf go
aka
to.
I'm smarter than everybody. Where you at?
yo.
AKA Stacy Augmentation, AKA where you at? I think I'm giving you the intro.
Right.
I'm just waiting for you to finish.
No, I passed the rock.
AKA the
No,
Nets
no, no. I'm not talking
motherfucking
about you.
commentator.
Mm-hmm.
Talk your shit. I'm done now. You the Nets commentator, man. The Hood's Nets commentator.
Thanks.
I had 57 minutes to figure out which part of the night pissed me off the most. Um, and I came down to the conclusion. You know what? Let me just talk about the game because the game. I just want to get it out the way right now. The Dinwiddie shit, bro. Every time, every time Dinwiddie scored, it was disrespectful. Like every single time, I felt disrespected every single time he scored
Why?
because I felt like we was making strides on the defensive end, bro. And when Dinwiddie was here, like against at least competent defenses, bro, like he wasn't
He
doing none
wasn't
of that
doing
shit.
none of that shit.
He
Nah,
wasn't
Yeah.
doing
yes he
none of that shit.
was, bro.
No, he
Yes he
wasn't.
was. He just
No, he
not
wasn't.
consistent. He just not consistent, but he was doing that shit, bro. He could cook niggas 1-on-1. He was cooking niggas 1-on-1 defense. He's
Yeah, that's what made me mad. That's what pissed me off. That's what pissed me off, son. Like he got by Zaire Williams about 2-3 times. It was a
and
stretch,
Zaire the good defender.
which is yeah,
And
which is
Maxwell Lewis.
And Maxwell Lewis. He got by them like a couple of times. Keon, like our perimeter, our paint defense was ass, bro. Like it was a stretch where PJ got floater after floater after. This nigga just
Oh my
parked in the
God,
middle of the
that was
fucking paint.
disrespectful.
That was
That was
disrespectful. That was disrespectful. What was even more, I didn't give a fuck about them two Claxton threes at all because without them two threes, bro,
what?
basically Kai Jones played that nigga to a standstill. Basically,
To a
like my
standstill.
he
Clax.
played that nigga to a standstill.
Hold on. All
Yeah,
right. Without those 2 3 pointers, Claxton would have 13 points.
13 points. How many points did Kai Jones have?
13. So what
And,
you mean?
he played the nigga to a standstill, like I said. 13,
But
but like bro, you going the same exact, almost the same exact stat line as Kai Jones, who ain't even really a starter in this league, bro. Like, and then you got that nigga dunking on you left and right.
Bruh.
Shit is
he did
ridiculous.
catch a
Claxton was
couple
8
good
for
though.
11, man, and he
He
had
did catch a
He
7
couple
wasn't.
good though.
And what was
threes.
Kai Jones?
He was 5 for 5.
Okay then. Like I said,
They was all
the,
dunks probably.
Probably.
on him,
Yo,
on
I ain't
Claxton.
gonna lie.
Yes.
But what
Clax
did you? I want
Clax
to know.
Clax body language was off a little tonight. Like
Yeah, his body
his
language was off.
attitude. Like it didn't seem like he was going as hard on some plays, and he was getting pissed off when niggas wasn't giving him the ball.
Look,
You see,
all I'm gonna
did
say,
any of
all I'm
y'all
gonna say.
peep that?
Yeah, I peeped that, and I peeped that Dayron had another higher plus minus than him once again. Dayron, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like I'm starting to like Dayron a whole lot more because he's making the easy reads when he's in the game. There was a stretch where him and Clax was in the game. Then Clax tried to play with some attitude. Clax got off the court. Davron stayed in. He started to make the easy plays, cuts to the basket. He found the easy cutters. Had a couple of assists. Had a couple of steals. The passing lanes was all clogged up. The rebounds was all clogged up. Second chance points was all clogged up. Of course, Davron came out of the game because 2 quick fouls. Whatchamacallit, get him out of the game. Then we go back to Clax. Then you know what it is, bro. Like Clowney tried to play hard tonight, bro. He just wasn't prepared for the physicality of the game because he got hit in the face a couple of times, and then that was that. But the disrespectful part of the night is like all the points off of turnovers, all the points in the paint that we gave up. That shit, that shit was just highly disgusting. I think we had Dallas had 22 points off our turnovers in like 3 quarters, and then probably finished with another 10.
What about what you wanted to talk about on your stream about the free agents and all of that? I wanted to hear what you was finna to say.
I ain't had the first quarter. The first quarter of this game alone, man, already proved that 2 years ago I already knew what I was talking about. Bro. Kai Jones played this nigga to a standstill. It's just that simple, bro. Like, and it ain't nothing else. It ain't nothing else to speak on. It ain't nothing else to speak on. And you ain't gotta like it. It ain't nothing else to speak on. No,
it is something to speak on.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
Why it ain't? They
it
both
ain't,
had.
Bro.
He only had 13 points. Like it was nice, but what that ain't moving the needle, is it?
My nigga. I'm just saying
bro, you can't. You got to give me more of a case than that.
Everything you want our big mans to do, bro. Kai Jones was doing, bro. Like right around the basket, bro. None of that layup shit. I'm dunking that. I'm leaping clean over niggas. N1, fuck off me.
Yo,
like with authority, bro.
I wish Clax
everything that
that.
you were saying
right.
that. You wish Clax would have did that, but he's not.
Clax, it was the time Anthony Davis was under the rim. He was not even really trying to play defense. He was like faking like he was playing defense.
I don't even know why AD was out there, bro.
Clax, if he would have just reached over his head, he could have dunked on AD. It would have been nice.
I don't even know why. I don't know why AD was out on the court. I don't know why AD was out on the court tonight. AD energy was way off, especially in the second half.
He was decoy most of the time.
Yeah, he was a decoy. He was taking mostly jumpers, bro. He take a couple of fadeaways, all net. Niggas wasn't even playing them close in the paint. They doubled them like on the wing. He was just waiting for the double to pass out.
Bro, you know why he on the court. They fucking franchises in shambles, and they need to show something.
Listen, hey, I didn't even expect AD to come back. I looked at the injury report. They didn't even have him and Kyrie on the injury report. I guess they took Kyrie completely the fuck off. I already knew Kyrie was out.
Kyrie done turned into Casanat. He's streaming and shit.
Yeah, I seen that shit. Which is I don't know what the fella said about that, but
I don't like that quote. You see what he said? Talking about we hijacked Jersey. Like, stop. Hold on. Why you gotta say that?
I'm not mad at him. That's what Brooklyn do. We took it,
bro. That's
not we hijacked Jersey.
Yeah, we took it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm admitting to that, bro. I'm admitting to that. Yeah, we hijacked him. Fuck him. Yeah,
and I'm not even saying it like disrespectfully, but I can understand how somebody feel that. Like, yo, they took our team,
bro. They was selling y'all was selling other teams' jerseys at the stadium.
The Yankees
bro.
do it too. They sell Shohei jerseys whenever the Dodgers
damn sure do.
But it's the market. You have
it is the market.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It definitely is the market. Yeah, but
there.
As far as the draft go, bro, I no longer give a shit, bro. Like, unless we top 3, bro. I'm with Dylan, bro. Like, I'm not speaking on it at all. I don't care. Y'all niggas can call this nigga baby Joker, baby MVP. I don't give a fuck what y'all call him, bro. Like, y'all take over this draft, man. Like, let's figure like
baby Joker, baby MVP, baby Grand Piano. I don't give a fuck. I want number 1.
Fuck that, bro. I know what I want, and I ain't letting it go, bro. Like, we don't get it, man. I'm off this draft. I might fuck around, take the year off, bro. That's how pissed off I am tonight, bro. This shit is sick. This shit is sickening, bro.
Bro. Sickening, I'm tired of this losing too, man.
Yeah, I'm tired of this losing. Let's let Breeze build a team so we can lose 50 more games, my nigga, for the next season, bro. Like, fuck it, bro. Why not?
That was funny. That was a crazy shot. Breeze, you got a rebuttal?
Come on,
Where's your rebuttal, man?
By the way, New Orleans won tonight, so they had 20 wins. So
I was looking for New Orleans to win. Tonight. That was a good win because they now at 20. It seemed like we might buy. Who our next game against? Our
Oh,
next game is against.
How
Toronto
many
won
wins
too,
we
so they're
got?
We got
23.
23,
And how many games left in the season?
10.
10.
10.
How many?
Yeah.
What's the over under on what y'all think? What we gonna
1.
get?
I said New
Below
Orleans can get 23. I think they can
0.
get 23.
So you think we
0.
going on a 10-game losing streak from here?
Bro,
Mm.
if y'all niggas want to do what y'all want to do in the draft, bro, we need to go on a 10-game
No,
losing
I'm
streak.
just saying what you think gonna happen
In
for real.
Toronto won tonight too,
We
so they're
might have
25
one win,
game
bro,
winner.
like in there, but I mean, I don't really see us really trying, bro. We ain't got no guard play out there. Anytime you got CJ bringing up the ball, bro, it's curtains, bro. It's curtains. Like, come on, bro. Like this shit is ridiculous. You get like
What did you think of
it's.
CJ spinning layup? He did the spinning piece of pie. You seen that?
I was more focused on his comments about how the late game situations and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Talk about
basically
it.
said bro, like winning late games in this league, bro, there's a skill to it. And then he couldn't be more right, bro. Like, so like the thing is like, yo, you might be a shot close, or a second from away from a winning play, or a minute made like a last minute you could have made something better or something like that, bro. Like, but he said what he said, man. He's probably said it in the most intellectual way you could say it. But
But don't you think he said it like a leader? Like not like a guy that's shying away from this shit, a guy that's in the locker room talking to these guys and don't want to run to another team. He want to be with this team and help them win.
He said it
That's a
like a nigga.
leader.
He said it like a nigga that's been on the winning team, because he has, bro. Like, and I was in Phoenix, so
Mhm.
I ain't really look at it. I ain't really look into it like you looked into it, bro. Like in terms of like the staying portion and just like that the third, bro. All I know is teams that lose 50 something games and planning on lose another 50 something games the next season, they don't keep these rosters together. So it is what it is, bro. Like, listen, look, we touched that. Y'all niggas still fuck with the draft all y'all want. Top 3, I'll come in, bro, when we get it. If we
But
don't,
what
man,
about the
y'all
free
can do.
agency? What was you saying about the free agency on your play-by-play?
And I got
What
one
was
more question for Leaf too.
what I was saying about it is that's the way we're gonna have to fill out the rest of our roster, because eventually we're gonna have to sign 2-year deals, or 1 year, a little 1 year, 2-year deals like we've been signing the last couple of years. This time last year, bro, we had fucking Lonnie Walker and Dennis Smith Jr. and I. This time this year, bro, we got D'Lo and a couple of other 1-year deals and shit left, bro. Like like we're gonna have to sign some important niggas out of free agent, bro. That's gonna be on our team, and that's probably gonna be intricate pieces to us trying to win. Not They don't have to be the stars. Y'all niggas is looking for the stars. Y'all niggas is looking for like the head honchos. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for niggas that's gonna be in our starting lineup and that's gonna be key components. That's what I'm looking for, bro. I like the stars, bro. Like that shit. It's probably gonna take another year, maybe 2, to get that. But like while we sitting here on our asses and watching these niggas lose, bro. Like let's trickle this shit down to like at least 30 wins a season, 35, 40 something, bro. Like it's other ways to do that, bro. Like we get this when we get the star, when we get to that bridge, we'll build it. Other than that, let's build the rest of the starting lineup piece by piece, the right way. Start like you don't just build everything through the draft. You could build it. You could build a whole little bit through the draft, a little bit through free agency, get a trade here and there, figure out how to make that shit work. Y'all niggas take care of the draft. Fuck the draft. That's what I'm on.
I look at it. I look at it. Listen. I study the game. I'm not trying to be absolute for this or that, right? I look at it for what it is. Like the Knicks, for instance, they build it. They let go their top 3 draft pick. And you look at the team they assemble mainly contingent on the free agency, and it's supposed to be a championship contender team, right? So I don't look at them as a threat. I look at them like they lost their identity and their cohesiveness going in the direction that they went. Now I look at a team like Denver Nuggets, and I see them keeping Jokic and Murray. They even kept Murray through his injury. Like, nah, you're gonna keep him. They're gonna win together. They gonna win together.
Well, our next game
I
I'm
mean,
saying,
but
our next game is
this,
gonna be a
this is my
tank off.
point. Hold on, and we could debate it. My point is, more franchises are built, more championship franchises built are from the draft, opposed to the main 2 or 3 players they be drafted more times than not than they are free agents. So that's just me like studying the game. That's not absolute, but from what I've seen, and that's a recent. That's even though you can say that Middleton came from a trade, he played with Giannis for a long time. He didn't, so technically there's like little things like that you have to factor in. But my point is that they played together as a duo for seasons, maybe 6, 7 seasons, 8 seasons before they actually win it, or even longer than that. Find a pair that can do that. Find a team you can build around 2 players or maybe even 3 players, a core of 2, 3 players that we build around, whether it be draft or free agency or draft and free agency. But don't trade them. That Harden, Kyrie, and KD, they played 16 out of a lot of games together. So I don't want to see that happening. That's basically what I'm saying. And again, like what I'm saying, I'm not saying is wrong, but it's not necessarily absolute as well. Like it's flex.
I get that idea, and I get that fact in terms of Boston, the Nuggets, Milwaukee, shit, even Golden State. I even get that. That's 4 teams. And you probably might be able to go back further if we didn't count the LeBron shit and what he was fucking doing and to get championships. Because that's probably one of the few niggas that was just running around from team to team. All right, yo, let's bring these niggas together. This, that, the third. And then you had maybe the '08 Celtics or some shit like that. All I'm saying is, bro, like that shit that worked for those 4-set franchise clearly don't work for everybody else in terms of a championship. Them niggas, listen, there's a lot of luck in winning a championship. That's the reality of it. You could build a championship roster. They could get there. Miami built a championship roster. They just couldn't win the shit. That's really all it was about. But they did. Yeah, did Bam come out of the draft? Absolutely. Did Hero come out of the draft? Absolutely. Jimmy came out of free agency, and he was the head honcho of that whole shit. So I mean, listen, it's things that could work for you that don't. It's things that could work for you that don't work for nobody else.
The key to every rebuild, though, 9 times out of 10 that works, you draft 2 guys, whether one becomes a star and the other becomes a high caliber role player, or both become stars, both become high caliber second, third options, and then signing a free agent, whether it be your number 1 option, your number 2, or your number 3. That's been the blueprint for many teams, just throughout NBA history. Like,
okay,
Boston did it with our picks. Houston's done it with their picks. OKC's done it with their picks and OKC's picks. Or I'm sorry, the Clippers picks. Like, you usually have to. Even Denver's done it, right? They landed a gem in the second round, but they drafted Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. in the lottery. So there's still a baseline to success.
Listen, I get what you're saying in that baseline success, but like I said, bro, ain't nothing concrete. Just like, bro, like those 4-set teams that I told you that won championships, Boston, Milwaukee, Golden State, who won many of them, who's basically the team of the era, like in the last 15 years, and everything speaks to it in Denver. Like, those are the teams. Hey, it worked. It worked for them. And you looking at other teams that's starting to become successful, like the Orlandos and the Detroits and the Houstons and all of that shit, bro. Like, I promise you, by the time they get to the finish line that Denver, Golden State, Boston, all them teams ran to, we just got to pay attention to who they still got. But the CBA demands that you kind of keep your players this, that, and the third. I see us getting those said players out of the draft, but I see us probably most likely for us, we probably gonna get a free agent to help. We might get a trade to help, like we got with Jason Kidd. It might happen. It's a possibility that might happen because guess what? Our draft history, in terms of like the whole Nets history since we got in the league, bro, the only player that we draft of some significance, bro, as like that was a legitimate star was Bernard King, and that was back at 77. If y'all want to go back into the draft,
well, realistically,
go
we drafted Kenyon Martin the year before I was born. So,
and Kenyon Martin was a one-time All-Star.
Yeah, but he was still an impactful player. The reason why we ended up not doing well long term is because we moved off of him.
All right, I mean,
he was impactful. I mean, he was the second, third option at the time. He was still dominant down low, an incredible rebounder, physical defender.
But the
with
head
Dominic
honcho,
Kane
but the head
offensively.
honcho of or them two finals teams that he was on was
Jason Kidd.
somebody we traded for. Exactly.
No, but that's what I'm
So
saying. You have to have your one or two guys who are either your first, second, or third options, and then you need to bring in a guy that'll be your first, second, or third option. But 9 times out of 10, it's easier to draft two players and bring one in rather than draft a player and bring two in. So with us having our own picks over this year and next year, you should want to take that seriously to where you put yourself in a position to land those two guys. So this way, by that 2026 or 2027 off season, when there's stars in free agency and you have cap flexibility and you have draft assets to still move off of, and you also still have young prospects who you could bundle up in packages. If you have realistically, if they draft 5 players this year, they gain an additional first-round pick next year. You could be looking at 7 to 8 prospects over the next 2 years. Half of those guys probably won't work out or may not be the best fit for us and could be used in a package to go out and get a superstar. So take the dynasty draft seriously. It's really not hard. Like I've said this example numerous times. It's not like we are the Lakers or Celtics. We don't have that if we don't win a championship, it's a horrible season, right? Like I'm a Yankees fan. If we are not in the World Series, it is a failure of a season because that's the standard of success that we have as Yankee fans, right? It's similar to Boston and LA. We don't have that as Nets fans. We have not been to a finals in 20 years. There is no reason for us to want to rush this when we have the opportunity to take it slow and do things correctly, which we haven't done in over 20 years.
How slow you talking?
I'm talking 2 years. 2 years, this year and next year.
That's slow?
Right, hold on.
That's slow when you get the top 5. If you get 2 top 5 picks, that's definitely slow.
Hold on. No. Let's slow it down and let Dylan and Leaf put that on a real scale. 2 years is not slow. Tatum and Brown, they took 6-7 years. That's slow. If you want to call it slow.
Yeah, but realistically,
I think we got to give context to the slow part. We got to give context to the slow.
I think he's talking about getting
the Celtics situation. The Celtics situation is different. My bad. The Celtics situation is different because the whole time they had Tatum and Brown, they've been a top 5 team in the league, and they were making conference finals as left and right. The only team that's really on that set scale, bro, is probably the Nuggets when they won in 23. In the Bucks when they won in 21, because the Bucks wasn't winning no playoff series until Giannis won an MVP. Then that was in 2019. So the reality is that everything else, like according to the time scale, I'm thinking y'all talking to the time scale of being a competitive. When I hear 2 years, when I hear 7 years for the Bucks or 7 years for the Nuggets, then I'm thinking finals.
Well,
then I'm thinking Eastern
Let me double down on this for a second, though. When I say a 2-year rebuild is slow, I'm talking about the rebuild portion of it. Like,
right.
This isn't something that rebuilding is bottoming out for top 5 picks. You don't have to do that if you land 2. You can then put yourself in a position to want to shoot for the play-in or make a playoff run or move in on stars. That's why I'm saying it's considerably a 2-year slow rebuild. Like that to me is 2 years is nothing. That's quick in terms of rebuilding. Nice. But there's a difference between rebuilding, retooling, and contending, right? All it takes is 2 years of a rebuild. This year and next year's draft. And next year's free agency is depending on the picks that you get. That'll kind of tell you whether or not you should go all in that offseason or see how the team plays throughout the beginning of the 2027 season and, make that decision come trade deadline season or the following offseason. But the rebuild portion of it is 2 years. After these next 2 draft classes, that's when you start entering that retooling section where you're now formatting the team around your key pieces, trying to build a contender. And until you get to a point where you're a top 6 seed in the East, that's when you put yourself into contention. So yeah, it could take 5 years until you're in.
Miami did when they got.
Okay. So what's the problem with doing it inside out in terms of like, all right, yo, you got the key you got the support group, bro, but you just don't have the guy. What's the problem with that? Because I believe that like a lot of times that's probably more or less than what we've been doing when the Nets even had success in the past 20 something years. You think about the when we like before we got J Kidd, we had picks. They just didn't get nowhere. They got J Kidd, they ran to the finals 2 years in a row. Then you move forward, bro. Like, how did we draw Katie and Kyrie in the first place? They seen the shit we was building over here, but they just flipped that shit into their own shit. That shit was fucked up. That's what a lot of people don't like about that whole Katie and Kyrie thing, bro. Like they flipped the whole entire roster and flipped it into some shit that they wanted. That's what a lot of people don't like about it. But the reality of it, bro, like the draft, boom, boom. All right, yo, you get two top five or two top 10, whatever the case may be, and then they become your mainstays. They become your key guys on some Franz and Paolo shit or JB and JT shit. All right, cool. Then boom, boom. You got to figure out how to navigate the market around the free agent market around and how to navigate the money, all that other stuff. I'm like, all right, yeah, cool, bet. I'm with that. Yeah, what Dylan said, everything, yeah, all that shit. Yeah, I'm with it. Yeah, y'all go ahead in the draft, go figure it
Again,
out.
same
Y'all fuck it
same
up.
thing, but nah, but the same
Yes.
thing.
I come back, man, when
Listen,
we up like 40, 50
listen,
games.
listen, and again, to kind of hone in on what I am as a happy Nets fan, it's what we had. Just build it. I was happy with us building. And again, I didn't think we was going to win the championship with Kenny Atkinson that season. We went to the playoffs, but I knew we was building something. I didn't know it was going to play out like that, but I see the potential there, and that's what I think about when it comes down to rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? But that was 4 years of Kenny Atkinson, and he did get better season after season. But it being Jordy Fernandez first year, just thinking about how he could develop players and seeing that's part of the game too, where you see different players get opportunities. I mean, Clowney, he's streaky. They want to make him a stretch for, he'll have good nights, but sometimes he won't. He'll be cold. He won't, what I'm saying, knock it down. But one thing's for certain is that they definitely trying to play and develop him into a stretch four. Like he's out there, that's what he's doing. And you know, same thing with like Tyrese Martin. I don't think he's a good facilitator. Spare me. Show me you're a shot creator. Score the ball. Like I don't want to see you passing the ball. You the best shooter on the court, and you doing all of these passes. I don't want to see that shit. You know what I'm saying? Jalen
That's what
Wilson,
nigga, and
and
this
then
this is the part.
remember, Zaire Williams took Jalen Wilson minutes because Jalen Wilson, he was scorching hot out of a summer league. You know what I'm saying? But Zaire Williams, he just came here, he got the opportunity, he took the minutes from Jalen Wilson. That's a fact. He was a better offensive player than Jalen Wilson and a little bit better of a defensive player. You can't take away Jalen Wilson hustle. He got hustle. I give it that. But you know what I'm saying? I think Zaire a little more talented than Jalen Wilson.
I
So
never thought Jalen Wilson had that spot solidified anyway. I still don't thought he was working. That's just me. I'm like, I don't
out
know.
of the
Like,
summer league, I thought he was going out of. I ain't gonna hold you, but
I
again,
never
my
thought
thing
he
with
even when he won the summer league MVP, I never thought he had that spot solidified.
Zaire here,
That's
he
dark.
he he showed a lot with a little bit. You know what I mean? Once I seen him last play the game guard Brandon Ingram, I said, "Oh yeah, he's somebody that we need on this team." You know what I'm saying? And this is why I always debate the whole thing. We don't have no talent on this team. I'm not saying the whole team, but all of these 10 players is going to be part of the championship roster. Nah. But I gotta include Zaire Williams. You know what I'm saying? I
Ain't
just
none, ain't no real starter talent on this team, and I know that for a fact.
But I don't know. But I think we could get a Zion Williams to agree to come off the bench. I don't think he pressing
Yeah,
hard to
yeah,
be
of
a
course.
starter
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
NBA, bro.
I'm cool with that. I'm like
But
me
what
and
I'm
you.
saying, he not pressing
We
hard
on
to
the
be a
same page
starter
when
in
it
the
comes to that
NBA.
shit.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if he get the buy-in to come off the bench, somebody
I
will try
mean,
to
bro, the
disrespect
most he
him.
gonna get was 3 years, 18 mil. That well, come on, that should have Scooby snacks in the league, bro. I'm cool with bench minutes for him. The thing is that we have to
You
get
a big
we have to get a legitimate starting group. That's what we really need, bro. This rotating niggas out in and out of the starting lineup, and then we don't know this, and we don't like, bro. We it's time to get us a legitimate starting lineup. I mean, we got to get a starting lineup that has a strength. Like the team that we played tonight, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like it seemed like a whole night they just had a strength against us in the paint. I would like that. I would like to have that strength on most nights. These niggas is hitting floaters left and right in the fucking paint, bro. This shit is annoying, bro. Like
Well, in that
bounce
case,
pass.
you gotta look in the draft. You ain't got no big men around the league that's young like that.
That's bullshit.
Nah, but
Everybody everybody just looking in the draft like because we got 4 picks and they think the draft it just instantly just gonna help us. Like
nah,
you could look a lot of
Nah,
places, bro. Like bro,
nah,
no,
like
I'm
but,
saying
but, hold on.
There is no lot of
saying that.
places.
Hold on, you saying that and like act like AD and get drafted. You know what I mean? Like AD was giving us work. You know what I mean? You act like Claxton didn't come out the draft or Dayron didn't come out the draft. Like you know what I'm saying? They came out the draft.
I
You know what I'm
understand
saying?
that, but look, come
I
on,
don't
bro.
think you understand.
The draft is held
You don't
1 year, and
understand.
there's 60 players that come out, and all 60 of them don't get a job. At minimum, maybe half of that, and you take the other half, they probably on starter teams, and then you cut that down. Them the niggas that actually last in the league. So basically, you probably got 7 and 10 players that actually last out of every draft in the league, and then everybody else is just bouncing around. I'm trying to figure out, bro, what players we could find bench players easy. I'm trying to find out who the niggas that's gonna be legitimate starters on our goddamn team. I swear, I feel like I'm running in a fucking circle. Like when I say this shit, bro, like a
I don't think
legitimate
most of our
starters on
starters
our
gonna be
team.
through trades. Most of them is probably gonna be through the draft if one of those players hit. I don't think it's just gonna be mostly through trading and free agency though.
Well,
I
fuck it,
don't.
y'all niggas draft this board. Then I'm done with this shit. Hit me up when we get top 3.
That's what I've been doing. You know, that's why I've been tagging you on Twitter. You know what I'm
And
saying?
don't tag me on that shit, man. Let me know when these niggas get here, and let me know when they fucking ball out. Fuck that.
I'm
I'm
tagging
I'm
you. You know what
I'm
I'm
through.
saying? I'm tagging
I'm through with
you
this scouting
on
shit, bro.
Twitter
Like well, that's what
with
we
my
got. That's what we
scouting.
got niggas. That's what we got niggas on the damn nets to do. They scout that shit, man. Fuck.
The
Yo,
funny
man.
thing about this is that we act like I don't know why people act like the Nets is the only team or the only fan base that's been through this process when this has been happening for years to other teams. Like other teams had to go through this process.
I'm
Like
other
I
people.
just don't I don't under maybe it's because of us. Like we've had some maybe it's their trauma there with the big three where we was closer of championship. I don't know what it is, but like the reason I don't trip is
That's
really
exactly what it
because
is.
the other teams have done this. Maybe they got lucky in some areas.
Nah,
Maybe a
no,
matter of
no,
they got a pick, we didn't. Cool, but like this is the process.
no,
Most of
no,
these teams have been through through the process already.
no, but no.
Like
Listen, and I gotta do this because you said that. Because I felt like other people. I felt like you know what I mean. You was talking about me, but just didn't say my name, man. At the end of the
nah, Breeze, it's
like,
not just you, bro. It's a
like
lot of people.
Yeah.
look, bro, look. What I'm saying is, all of these other teams, if y'all talking about the NBA is a business model and they don't want to have a bad talent, bro. Again, you gotta realize it's not like I'm disrespecting them. These are just facts. When somebody said it earlier in the stream, bro, all of these other teams have way more draft capital than the Nets, and where they championships because of it. Why keep doing that when you trying to parody, not parody, but have variety of teams winning the championship? There hasn't been a multiple or a double championship this decade yet. It's always been a different team so far, and I think they want to keep that up. It shows that this is one of the most competitive leagues, and it's not easy to have a dynasty. Not easy to do what the Golden State Warriors did. Not easy to do what the Chicago Bulls did. You feel what I'm saying? It's not easy to do that, let alone the Lakers and the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? But the point is that there's teams that didn't win it, and then there's teams that didn't win it in a long time. The NBA can't ignore them, especially if they're talking about having an expansion team. Why you want to expand teams and you ain't even paying attention to the teams or you're not even giving them a chance? When they even giving Brooklyn Nets a chance to have an opportunity to do what they do? So wow, again, I feel it's a lot of optimism for the NBA to look our way because of very sad reasons. You feel what I'm saying? So we'll
I
see
think
what
so too,
happens.
but I think the main thing is we forget how many opportunities do we move to Brooklyn, what, 2012? I mean, we haven't had a draft pick. Uh, look at all the players that has came into the league since 2012.
Right.
Like we could argue, the Billy King thing messed us up. He traded all our draft capital away, but at the end of the day, we as the Nets organization, due to that set us back. We didn't have opportunities to go into the lottery and going 2014, and even if you're living in the moment at hindsight, no way you would choose Lonzo at 2. But even during that hype era where you could have been like, yo, let's try to get Tatum with our pick, or let's try to get a Markel or Alonzo or whatever back then, we couldn't even do that. We had no picks. So the fact of the matter is, when you talk about the players that's came in this league from 2012 to now, like at an opportunity where we finally have our own draft pick in these next upcoming drafts, yeah, you got to take advantage of it because you screwed up all those previous years by trading away your draft capital. We could have had, it was a risk, but imagine us drafting a John Morant. Imagine us drafting a Ant. Imagine us trying to get a Cade Cunningham in 2021. Yo, let's try to tank for Cade. Like, I
Nah,
would I would have been down with that.
yeah, but again, remember the play was already in set. They took a swing and miss. They swung and missed. It was a big miss, and again, he cleaning up his mess. Y'all not gonna give me the finish on marks. I'm just stating the facts. He made a mess. He trying to do his best to clean it up. Y'all say it's more shit he gotta clean up. Then I get where y'all coming from. But at the end of the day, is it doing the right thing by focusing on this draft and the 2026 draft? Yes. The upside of the feds, the upside of you is you in in the draft, and even though you give credit to Jeff Peterson, it is what it is. You got the opportunity to get a top five pick for what it looks like realistically, and that's nothing to sneeze at. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing to sneeze at. I still stand on that. He had to prove to show side that I got a good coach. If we ain't got Kevin Durant, we gonna lose. That was basically what Steve Nash understanding was. If Kevin Durant does not play basketball today, we're losing.
I don't know why y'all think Josiah's mad about losing because he said this is exactly what he want. He said he wanted a hard-working team that he could stand behind. Remember that bullshit he said? He
I
said
do
he'd
remember.
rather he's
Yeah.
trade the stars, have a hard-working team he could stand
Mm,
behind.
yeah.
And there you go.
And he also said the Nets is the main priority of the other all the other teams he owned. The Nets is his priority of winning the championship. So we're gonna see if he could put his money where his mouth is in terms of that. Because if that's really the case, then you need to have all eyes on this team, this draft, these players. That's where your priority needs to be. I don't care that you own 3% of the Dolphins or whatever the heck may be. Let your priority be here. This is the biggest market. You have the biggest opportunity to get one of these guys or whatever the case may be. And if Sean Marks ain't doing his job right, put somebody else in charge that, you know, can see your vision with the team, or not give the team the clear and call it a day. Like at this point, bro, Liberty got a chip before the Nets. That's some crazy shit. Like
So what I'm
you can't
saying
make
is,
it up.
Joe Tsai wanted him to take that swing. Look, his wife took the swing with Liberty. They just won it. You feel what I'm saying? They won it. It's just
But the
it's
thing is, Breezy, look how that was for the city. Like
no.
Liberty
But
won
what
the
I'm
chip.
saying is,
That Liberty chip was lit.
they both took the chance to win it. Just the Liberty won it, and the Nets didn't win it. You know what I'm saying?
I just think
I don't mean
it's
to.
a better run operation over at the Liberty. in terms of, I think Clara understands the importance of, getting good players, making sure, I don't like, I just think it's different mentalities when it comes to those two. Like, I'm not saying the Nets one day won't be at a level where we competing. I'm just saying it could have happened way sooner than expected instead of us trying to do this shit in 2025. But, you know, it is what it is. We had three all stars, possibly superstars on the team. We can point that to COVID and injuries. I'm not gonna put that all on Sean Marks because he did what he did for this team from 2016 to now. You know what I'm saying? So he may have made stupid decisions, but not all of them was, crazy. He can't control what the players do on the court. We got swept by Boston that year. But
But
that's not on Sean Marks. Like,
but again, a lot of times, and we got to go to Gary after this. I feel like the middleman, or for lack of better words, is the coach. You know what I'm saying? You the middleman, like, the coach is kind of like going to bat for you when you saying stuff to the front office that maybe the player don't know how to say. If there's no real relationship between the coaches and the players, I think it's a miss. I don't care how good the talent is. I think it's a miss. So I'm gonna always disagree with Nets fans saying we won too many games. It was important for us to have a good coach. It was important for us to do that, man. And again, if y'all want to lose every game, even the Net game, yeah, man, I hold my Net fan pride. And if it's because another Net fan asked me that, like, would I choose between a Nick win and a draft pick? I'm like, that shit don't even make sense. You just pulling out wild hypotheticals. You just playing around, man. But like I said, I want to win both, man. I want to have that top draft pick, and I want to beat the Knicks. But we're gonna go to Gary, man. Shout your podcast out, Gary. Then we're gonna get to it.
It's BK nothing but that's podcast. We go live the day after every game, usually around 12:30. Breeze, you want to jump on with us tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm gonna try. What time you said?
12:30.
12:30. I might be able to do it. I might be able to do it.
I'll send you a link. But it's BK nothing but Nets podcast. We go live the day after every game around 12:30.
Well, yeah, but we was we're talking about a lot of stuff, man. But ultimately, I'm cooler than the other side of the pillow. I don't think we need to worry about our draft pick. I like Jordy Fernandez, coach, and I ain't gonna say I don't care who we draft. That'd be too tall of a story, but or fairy tale. But I care. But at the end of the day, Gary, I don't know. What do you think about Queen in that shot? Do you think that translate to the NBA, or do you think that's just, you know what I mean? Don't pour too much into it.
Look, so a couple of things can be true at once. First, what's true is that was a travel. We all saw it. That was a travel.
I ain't seen no travel, man. You saying he travel?
It was a travel, but it's a hell of a shot to make with the game expiring like that. And I wouldn't put too much into that one shot, but I still think Queen's going to be a good. If he misses that shot, I still think he's going to be a very good NBA player. I think DerickQueen is going to be a very good NBA player. They don't like him because he's a 20-year-old freshman. I don't know how you're a 20-year-old freshman, but I guess it happens. I think he's a good player. I think he's got an NBA skill set. People are going to debate whether he's a 4 or a 5. I think he's a 5. I think he's got plenty of size. He's strong. He can play 5. The shot, I don't want to, overhype one shot. Do you remember a guy named Bryce Drew, Breezy?
Yeah, vaguely.
White boy that played for Valparaiso back in 1998. He hit like a 3 from like 30 feet to win the game. He got drafted off of that one shot and never turned out to be anything in the NBA.
Yeah, so, he has some hype on him.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to hype him up for one shot, but I think Queen showed to be a good player this year. He was one of the guys that I thought really emerged. Austin Noel was another one. Jeremy Fears was another one. I think Queen's going to be a good pro. Is he going to be an all-star? We'll find out. But he's gonna be good. He'll be good.
But I know in your day you've seen all different kind of vehicles, Jeeps, trucks. If you seen a tank and it had the Brooklyn Nets sign on it, how did that tank look? It got rims on it. Is it a good looking tank or is the tank all beat up, man? What kind of condition is the tank?
Right now, that tank is not in good condition. I'm not trying. I'm with you. I wasn't really one that was all in on the tank. I don't, and we can go over the odds, right? The NBA doesn't really reward losing the way you guys think it does. Not, if you draft, if you have the worst record in the NBA, you have an 86% chance of not getting the first pick. It's more likely than not that whoever gets the first pick in the draft didn't finish with one of the three worst records, right? So the NBA, it's a lottery, and like, yes, if you lose, you have a slightly better chance. But the difference between, the worst record and the seventh worst record is like 6%. It's not that big of a difference. They really don't reward losing the way people think it is. It's not like if you lose all your games, you're going to get a top 2. It doesn't work out that way.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at it as a novice. I've been listening to more of the game y'all been letting me know about. If from what I hear, I'm not mad at the top 7. You feel me? I'm not mad at the top 7. My top 7, from what I know, is Kubo at 1. That seemed like it's not going to shake. Dylan at 2, Ace at 3, VJ at 4, or VJ at 3, Ace at 4. I don't know. Fairs at 5, Queen at 6, Malawi at 7. That's how I'm looking at it. I don't know how correct I am with that, but
I have some hesitation. Like we did a mock draft today, and Dylan likes VJ a lot. It's not that I dislike VJ. I don't like. We both agree that his upside is Jaylen Brown. The upside is crazy. I think his downside is Emmanuel Mudiay. Like I think, like if anyone in that draft is going to be a bust, I kind of think it could be him. Now I could be wrong. He's a hyper athlete. He could be great. But I look at him right now, and I don't really see like an NBA offensive game. I see a great athlete that can blow past college kids. He ain't gonna blow past NBA players like that.
Yeah. See, the reason why I have him interchangeable.
Oh, is Dylan here?
I am here. I am.
Oh,
I'm sitting in the corner quietly. We're chilling. Yeah. No, I don't have VJ as a solidified 3rd overall pick. It's more so, and I've kind of explained this, it depends on the team who's drafting at 3, right? Like, if it's Philly, if it's Toronto, if it's Charlotte, if it's New Orleans, they are all set at the wing positions, right? Toronto has Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes. They don't need an Ace Bailey. Charlotte, they have Brandon Miller and Miles Bridges. They don't need an Ace Bailey. New Orleans, they have Zion, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones. They don't need an Ace Bailey. Philly, they have Paul George right now. Depending on if they want to get younger with him, could go Ace.
He's getting out of there.
Yeah, depending on if they want to.
Definitely need Ace Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance.
I seen a post last night that said Paul George got arrested for robbing Philly.
To me, there's like 3 or 4 teams that would take VJ over Ace if they landed the 3rd pick. So it just depends on who lands it. It's definitely interchangeable between the two, though, just depending on the team.
That shit, Gary, that shit caught me off guard because when I seen it, I said, what Paul George got arrested for? That's great. And then it said for robbing Philly and $213 million.
Shame.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's doing what Ben did, but he's just like Ben to play. Paul George is showing up and playing. He's just not giving any effort. Like he might as well not be playing.
He'd rather be up here with us.
So what's the truth behind that? Did Philly make him quit the podcast, or was that on his own accord? Like did Philly?
Nah, it's you playing bad basketball and you talking about it. You chatting. You're not paying you to chat. You getting all this money for you to chat. You a chatter now? You a podcaster?
He did it on me.
No, he wasn't getting. No, but listen, but Gary, he not getting no respect. They like, yo, you podcasting. You out here podcasting more than the podcasters. You running your mouth. You ain't playing no basketball. That's what you do for a living. We just gave you this big contract. You just got here and you doing more chatting than playing basketball. We ain't jacking that shit.
Nasty word.
No.
That's
Hell
nasty
no.
word.
You want to chat. Nah, either you play basketball and chat, or it ain't no just chat. Like, we not paying your ass to chat.
Yo, but
Can't do to play
their whole
basketball.
team was doing shit, man, because they had the Jared McCain kid. He was doing nothing
He
but
was hooping
TikTok
though.
shit. He
You ain't
was.
seen none. I ain't
Oh,
seen none of his videos since he stopped hooping.
nah, he
But
still be
listen,
doing his videos. He hurt now though, so he could do his videos while he hurt.
Well,
but yeah, no, I'm saying
is
that.
podcasting like the worst thing you can do? Would you rather him be podcasting, or would you rather him out eating all night at strip clubs like
Yo,
Zion?
see,
Like,
look,
what's
that's what I was
actually
about to
worse?
say, Gary. That's a good point because if a guy like you got off time when you're a basketball player, and
Yeah.
you could spend your off time smoking weed and with hookers and like, but he's spending his off time podcasting, just talking about basketball, talking about whatever. Can you be mad at him for that?
I
Bruh,
think
listen, I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. First off, he would have never came to the Brooklyn Nets ever. I would have never did that trade. I would never do the Brooklyn Nets in the wrong way like that. That shit would not have happened. For one, for two,
Maybe
again,
Jordy would have had him hooping.
nah. Again, what I'm saying is, I watched his podcast. He's enjoying his life, man. You know, listen. After he
That's Kaya and Anthony's favorite
listen,
player, man.
listen, and I'm not. This is not no sub or pun, but after that injury, bro, I'm telling you, he was just happy to play basketball.
Facts.
Before that injury, and remember we was together when that shit happened. I remember seeing you that day. I was like, yo, I just got off work. I'm about to whoop.
Yo, was
And
that
we
the
was,
day you bought the damn jacket?
I don't remember, man, but
That might have been that. Now that you
I
say
remember
that.
you and P was together, and I had one in the other room, and I was like, and then y'all was like, oh shit, and I didn't want to look at it. That shit was crazy. So I'm saying after that, he wasn't. He just was happy to play basketball, bro. And then he got into podcasting, and he fell in love with that shit. And I'm saying that to say respectfully, bro. When he used to compete, I still feel like he was more of a competitor before the injury. Maybe that's just him being cautious.
Nah,
But
yeah.
he can play. He got the talent, but that cautiousness could slow you down as a
I'd be
And,
competitor.
cautious if I was him too. Because
yeah.
like
Facts.
I said last part,
That's
every
natural, though.
game
It's natural.
every game that I see him play is on like bonus time to me because I thought that was the end of his career that day you talking about.
Yeah, that's what he's preparing
Yeah,
for. You know what I'm
me
saying?
too.
Life
I ain't
the
gonna lie.
basketball. That's what he's preparing for. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, he talked about it. It's only him and Gordon Hayward left from his draft class in the NBA. That's it.
Chris
Ain't
Paul
nobody else.
said he retiring. I think I saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so there's only them two left from his draft class. So that's why, you know what I'm saying? That's why he be doing that. So, like, he getting hurt. He know his time is coming to be done.
It's interesting to look at these players' careers and see what they should have did opposed to what they did. But it's easier in hindsight. I mean, on and when they said that they was going to pair Paul George with Kawhi, I was kind of like, oh shit. But at the end of the day, I knew the difference was the core. The core that Kawhi went to with the Toronto Raptors wasn't the same thing as him going to the Clippers. They actually changed the core for Kawhi. So that's two different scenarios, actually. Um, I don't know, man. Paul George was such a hooper with the Pacers, bro. I kind of wish he never left sometimes. Wow. But if he would have stayed a Pacer, would he have more success than he has now? Probably.
No.
No.
Nah. No. You couldn't build around Paul George and build pieces around him?
They wouldn't have.
Probably right.
I don't know. The Pacers are going to be the Pacers. The Pacers are who we thought they were.
Funny as hell. Yeah, shout out to Scott. Scott on the panel with us. Yeah, what up, Scott?
Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody?
Ain't nothing.
Oh
Chilling.
yeah, and we let him off the hook.
Can't let him off the hook.
We did let him off the hook twice, man. And the Pacers are who we thought they were. They're not that good. They haven't been that good for a long time. If Paul George was there, they just be wasting his career. But you could argue that he's doing that himself. But like I said, he's on bonus time right now. After that injury, just the fact that he's playing basketball is a miracle.
I totally agree. I feel like more him doing the podcast thing. He fell in love with it because he get to talk basketball, and he see how much the media make. You know, that's another thing too.
Right.
Some of these players, they not. Again, this is what I be saying. Like growing up, they was more basketball, love of the game oriented players. Now these players become basketball career minded.
But look,
Like
that's another
there's
point right there.
there's opportunities that come from basketball. Everybody not trying to win a championship. I'm sorry that as a fan it hurts me to say it because I'm a big fan of the sport and I don't think you have to do anything to dilute the integrity of competitiveness in sports. But the truth is that everybody don't play with the same gumption.
But bro, I feel like it's also that the fact that the players want to control their own narratives. Like the whole time, media gets to talk about you, you can't say nothing back. Fans get to talk about you, you can't say nothing back. If you get on Twitter and go back and forth with somebody, you got Twitter fingers, you looking
That's true.
crazy.
Remember
How
me and
about you
T?
get on the podcast and you could say your own thoughts into a camera
That's
and
what it
people could feel
is.
how they want to feel about it.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
but
what
no,
it
no,
is.
no. But listen, but at the end of the day, again, before they get to the camera, you gotta remember they're not just representing themselves; they representing brands that they attach to. Now, let's be realistic. The more honest person, they love them, but they hate to love them, and that's Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce behind closed doors, he got strippers and he doing the most right now. You know what I'm saying? But
Fired.
like, right, they shine a bad light on that. Like we can't have you representing our corporate company, our corporation. You got strippers and who God knows what's happening, and you can't be doing stuff like that. Like this is what I'm saying. Like the fact is that again, this is what's happening, but you can't have that on camera. So this is why podcasting, you gotta kind of it's a fine line. Cause with the podcast, there ain't nobody there. You not reminded to. You ain't gotta be Marshawn Lynch in front of the media talking about I'm here only cause I ain't gonna get fined. You might have had a drink or two. You might have sparked some. You might say some shit you might have wasn't said in front of no. You know what I'm saying? No media. So you gotta be careful of that
Right.
because you know what I'm saying.
That's
You
how they
could
get
be.
niggas on drink champs.
I don't know, Scott. But
Yeah.
how you feel about it, Scott? You think players should have podcasts, or we going doing the most with
Well,
podcasts?
I think just like you said, they it's a way for them to. I think it's a way for them to express what they feel without getting somebody saying something back to them. Like if they on Twitter, they getting this like attention from the media and the play and the fans, and they can fire back. But with the podcast, they can just say their piece and just hang up.
Right.
and it works for them. They get paid for it. Not everybody's going to be on TNT and major
And I
network.
feel like
You
if
think that they could be professionals and conduct themselves in the podcast where they still could have the brands attached, so they could get that extra.
Look at Gil.
money?
Look at Gil Arenas.
Yeah, JJ started his podcast
Look at
while he
Gil
was still
Arena.
playing in the bubble. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
I mean,
That's
you
true.
just do it just to get your name out there, but when they retire or when they're not playing no more, what you think
and
they're
bro,
gonna do?
I feel like it's better for them to start their own podcast and build their own brand than join up with like TNT or one of these companies because you building your own
Well,
brand.
look at Paul Pierce. He, like you said, he's smoking, hanging out, chicks, and all that, and he's still on network.
Like this. Listen,
He's
this
still
is
on
why.
network.
Right, but this is why I'm saying I like my podcast and like the quote unquote underground podcast, and I like how there's content creators that like Gilbert Arenas. You could find him with other content creators that's not quote unquote on these corporations. Like I seen him do work with Low. I seen him do work with Players Choice. I seen him do work with some of these content creators that's big on YouTube but not part of the ESPN or corporations like that. And what I'm saying is just that whole demographic of being able to interact with Gilbert Arenas and him having the platform, but he's a retired player. You know what I'm saying? It's different from hearing from him because you hear real stories. And remember, the more interesting thing I thought about Gilbert Arenas' podcast is that I remember the media story, right? And that's all you got. That's all you got. You got the media story. That's all you're gonna get. But hearing him on a podcast talk about what actually happened and all of that stuff like that, and you know what I'm saying? Here they talk the game and why what player might get drafted, go where, hearing it from a player's perspective, because you really don't hear the player's perspective. So that's why I gotta agree with that. I gotta dial back and say it is good that the players have a voice. I do want to hear how they see the game. You know what I'm saying? And how they see media see them. Like, yeah, the media is saying this about me, but let me tell you what I think about the media. You know,
right? Yeah.
I like
I
that.
think the next level is the coaches. Can you picture coaches having podcasts? Well, you already got one that has a major. Look at the Lakers coach. I mean, he already had his podcast before he was a coach. But you know, I'm just saying in general, he's not going to stop podcasting.
Like that, talk the game at a high level. I know if it was coaches.
I know once the season is over, once the Lakers are gone, he's going to be back on the airway.
Yeah, I don't know. They might keep him because he's doing pretty good over there, better than everybody. You know what I mean?
But he's not going to stop podcasting.
Yo, I saw a thing that said the Lakers ain't kept a coach for 3 years since Phil Jackson.
They haven't. And that's why they got JJ and he got them hooping. And they say what he did is real basic old school stuff for them. You know what I mean? Real old school actions and you know what I mean? Real easy stuff that works. And he got them playing well. So they might keep him for a little bit.
I heard they got worked the other day by the Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago been hooping.
Yeah, they kind of pissed behind that loss.
Shit, where they dropped in the standings, are they still at 2?
I think so. Yeah, they still 2. But the point is they 3. They in the 3 spot. They 4, right? Oh, okay. That loss put them back.
Yeah, they got the tie record with the Grizzlies. They might be 5.
Well, you know how the West is. You lose like 3 in a row, you drop back 2 spots. It's terrible, but I mean, you know, that's how tough it is in the West.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying about the Lakers, man. They doing the most to keep their franchise afloat. Like LeBron got a trade for AD. LeBron got a trade for Doncic. Like Doncic had his whole team. Like he got his whole. This is my team. That's like Jordan calling Reggie Miller to the Bulls. Like
you think what? You think LeBron was in charge of that, or it was just like Nico Harrison was just like off his rocker that day?
Yo,
I don't think it was LeBron.
LM, you ever see Clark Kent and Superman in the same room at the same time? Exactly.
But to be fair though, like I think you do have a point, but I also think I think they want Dallas as a team because there's this whole thing of them moving to Vegas. I think they just chose them as the team. So like, yo, we're gonna let this team move to Vegas. They look like they not down with what the owners is doing, trying to make casinos and other ways to make money. They probably gonna want them to be one of the expansion teams. But that team got to be bad. So what you got to do? You got to trade Luka. You know what I'm saying? And
I think that's a possibility. I mean, then why would they invest in that area that they play at? Because they got a lot of investment.
They were trying to build a casino. They were trying to build a casino.
Right.
And the government in that area turned it down. It was a vote coming up to legalize gambling, and they did not do it. And they was probably paying mad people and lobbying to get it done, and it didn't get done.
That's where I'm from.
That's the battle between the have and the have-not. That's what you're saying,
there, right? That's my
because the billionaires want to be able to do what they want to do.
You think it's gonna happen?
What you trying to say, Gary?
Yeah, I live that's where I live. I live in that area. And they already bought
your mic is low. That's what it is. Your mic is low.
Oh, is my mic low?
Yeah. You're low.
Give me 1 second.
Because if he live out there, he got the scoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he said they bought a lot of land.
They bought 108 acres where the Cowboys
Right.
used to play, right?
Right.
In Irving.
Yeah.
Hold on,
And
slow it down. 108 acres is a lot of acres for people.
Yeah.
It's about,
Right.
it's about the size of Manhattan. It's the size of
Right,
Manhattan. Yeah.
literally.
So they were going to build like. There's no gambling in Texas. There's no online gambling. There's no casinos. There's no nothing. So they bought this land, and they got the most expensive lobbyists in the world who've gotten gambling legalized everywhere to lobby the politicians in Texas and get gambling legal in Texas. Except there's no appetite for it. Nobody in Texas wants it, right? So they tried in 2021 and failed. They tried again in 2023 and failed. In 2025, they tried again, right? And when it was evident, the Texas Senate only meets every other year, so 21, 23, 25, 27.
Okay.
When it was evident that it wasn't going to be put on the ballot to even vote for, like it didn't even get on the ballot, like there's no even vote for it, that the next day, they traded Luka, the very next day. And in Texas, it's actually in the state constitution that gambling is illegal in Texas. So in order to do it, you have to amend the Constitution. So it's not even a simple vote, right? You'd have to get the Constitution amended so that it's no longer unconstitutional, and then the people could vote on it, and then the governor would have to sign it. The governor has already been lobbied by the governor's already been lobbied. So the governor's already paid off, but they can't even get it to his desk because it has to go through all these other things. It has to get taken. It has to become constitutional first, and then the other two houses has to vote on it, and then it has to get to the governor's desk. If the governor signs it, he's done. His career in office is over because it's so unpopular with the people. But he has to because he's already taken the money. So if you're the governor, you have to hope that it just never gets to your desk, right? To hope that that's where he is right now. And the Adelson family, they own the Las Vegas Sands. They don't want to move to Vegas. Like they want to keep it in Dallas and have their casino because they would have a monopoly on all of gambling in Texas. That's what they want. Texas in and of itself would be the 9th largest economy in the world, right? It's bigger than Russia. They want to have a monopoly on that, but there's no appetite for it. The people don't want it. So if they can't get their casino, they're going to just move to Vegas. But they really want to stay in Texas. But without the casino, they're not going to do it. Yeah,
because ain't they like a casino family? The people who do it, like they got other casinos, other places.
They've got casinos all over the world, right? And that's why they want.
That's why they want it
on Texas. Yeah, it'll be the only casino in Texas, and they own it. So you have all 30 million people in Texas going there.
Wow, you see how politics play in NBA in sports,
and it's easy to do that when you got some That too, and the team that where the fans is disgruntled, you traded away our superstar. Now we got Kyrie. We don't know if Kyrie gonna come back.
Yeah. We seen that in Brooklyn, though. We seen that with the virus and players on other teams were able to play in the Barkley and in the NBA, and net players couldn't play. We seen that. We seen politics.
Yeah, Kyrie not being able to, he could play away games, but he couldn't play home games.
Right. Yeah.
During that time.
Yeah, we heard the man say it's.
If you were unvaccinated,
I believe
you
he
could
scored
play
60 or Orlando or one of them road games.
Yeah.
The stupidest thing about that is when he got traded, like a couple of months later, like they was able to play regardless if he was vaccinated or not. So I was just like,
well, the mayor even said that it's not fair, and then that's when I realized he had pressure from outside influences to keep it the way it was.
True.
That's why the Nets,
I think the only thing that really saved us is, Texas is, Texas, but I mean the Nets is in New York,
Yeah, but every region is different state, Here in New York, they want to gamble. Look at Jersey. Yeah, this region gambles. Texas is old school Southern. If they say no, they mean no.
Yeah, they mean no. They weren't.
They
The
mean
Adams
no.
family wasn't prepared for that because everywhere
I'm not
else
mad
they
at them
said
for
no.
that.
I'm surprised
Eventually,
there's
it
no
became
gambling
yes.
in the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, well, they don't like a lot of trouble.
Let me explain, right? So I live in Dallas. I live an hour from the Oklahoma border. Exit 1 in Oklahoma. There's tons of casinos. Tons of casinos. If you live in Houston, 45 minutes away is Louisiana, like Bossier City. There's casinos all over the place. So if you live in like either of those two major areas,
Yeah,
you have casinos within an hour of you. Like you don't really have to drive up. They just don't want it here because when you bring it here, you get the prostitution, you get everything that goes along with it, and that's what they don't want here. Like just keep that in Oklahoma, keep it in Louisiana, and just go there. Like
like they do in the city.
Yeah,
like they do here. If you wanna gamble, go right to Jersey. You can gamble hard.
well, they got that casino in. They got that casino in Queens now.
What is that? The new resorts, world resorts, casino something? Yeah,
resort world.
You know how New Yorkers are greedy. They need to make money.
They was trying to put a casino in Times Square, but they stopped that.
Nah, that would be Armageddon.
Yeah,
nah.
That
would be Armageddon.
It's crazy.
You can't put a casino in Times Square.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised now.
They was trying.
Can you imagine the crash outs when somebody loses?
Yo.
Like, nah, that's way Times Square got enough draw already. You talking about putting a casino there.
Right.
Or Manhattan in general.
Don't be surprised, man.
It probably could happen.
Yeah, don't be surprised.
Or in Brooklyn for that matter.
I don't want it in Brooklyn.
Nah, Brooklyn. I don't know. I don't want one in Brooklyn either.
I don't want that shit in Brooklyn. Yeah, it's already enough there. I'm trying to keep it family oriented.
Yeah, see, Kurt the Flirt said it. Jay-Z trying to get that casino done.
Yeah, take that shit somewhere else, please.
Yo, for my fault, I gotta close out. I'm gonna get with y'all on the next one. I'm gonna try to link with you 12:30 tomorrow too, Gary.
All right, so I'll send you a link tonight. Appreciate you, Breeze.
All right, great stream, guys. Great stream. See, Nets fans is the best fans. I'll see you on the next one, y'all. Peace.
You're ready.
All right.